morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to take a look at a couple of products you probably should have picked up. Now, just to be clear, it's too late. The window has closed, but hopefully we can learn something from this so that when I show you products like this in the future, you can go, hang on a second. I remember this. Wassy said we should pick this up. I've got a decent example and then a pretty extreme example to go with it. So starting off, let's have a look at the special generation set that they went and made. Remember, with generations, they released, well, as the name might suggest, decks for each generation of Pokemon. So we had Generation 1 with Snorlax and Pikachu, all the way up to Generation 9 with Koraidon and my boy Paldean and Clodsire, and that was pretty cool. Except, here's the thing. They didn't just make the 9 decks. They also went and made a special deck set that had the first 2 and the last 2, gens 1, 2, 8, and 9, and a couple fun little extras in there to boot. Now, actually, as I record this right now on the Pokemon Center Online, this is in stock. And the fact that this is in stock is frankly a little bit weird to me. Because, well, the cool thing in here, the really special thing in here, was that there were 2 exclusive promo cards. There was a Meowth, Gen 1, and a Paldean Wooper, who of course Gen 9, one from the first, one from the last. And as a fun little side note, that Paldean Wooper adore this card, because of course it's Okacheke artwork, and by now you all should know I love the Okacheke artwork. Love that Paldean Wooper. For what it's worth, there was also a Suicune and a Duraludon. The Suicune was actually mechanically unique for what that's worth. Not terribly exciting, but you know, it's there if that's the kind of thing that you're into. The thing is, each of those promos is now far more sought after. So if we take the Paldean Wooper, now as it stands at the moment, that is sold out over on the site I'm looking at. But it doesn't matter that it's sold out right now. It's listed as a 1,000 yen card. 980 yen, that'll do quite nicely. That's alright. But then again, do I want to pay 1,000 yen for this or 4,620 yen for the deck set? Well, I'll still probably go and buy the single if I can still find it at about 1,000 yen. But then we get to the Meowth, which is not sold out right now, and is listed at 3,680 yen. Now, you don't have to be particularly good at maths to see, if you add the 2 of them up, it actually comes to more than the deck set. Now, bearing in mind you're getting 4 decks, and for what it's worth, this is actually an A- version of the card, so it's not even fully mint, but the fully mint one is sold out, unfortunately. So you've got 2 promo cards here that together are worth more than the set, plus you get the 4 decks and the other 2 promos, there's a couple of coins in there and everything else. And basically, and this is what we see fairly often from these Japanese sets, try and pick them up when you can, because the promos alone are worth it. Now, I also fully understand that I'm saying, well, it's still in stock on the Pokemon Center Japan. Well, yeah, they don't ship outside of Japan. You have to use a proxy service, and although that is absolutely possible, fair to say not everybody wants to or is comfortable using a proxy service. Still in stock on Amazon Japan for 4,500 yen. And okay, fine, that is still delivering to Japan. It won't ship to me in the UK. But my point is, it's just readily available. It is not a product which is actually sold out yet, which I don't really understand how the promos are now worth more than the set when the set is readily available. But imagine what's going to happen when the set sells out. I'm not saying run out and buy this right this second, but I am saying that products like this tend to be worth it. That was a little example. How about the extreme example? How about the Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise EX deck set? Because, that one got a little bit silly. Now, this one, just on the face of it, we knew was going to be a little bit more, right? Because the promos we're talking about here are the Squirtle, the Charmander, and the Bulbasaur. Squirtle and Bulbasaur were in Stellar Crown for us. Remember, the Charmander was actually an Elite Trainer Box promo, but either way, all three of these were in the deck. And it actually was even better than that, because you also had the three alternate art EXs, that is to say your Charizard, your Blastoise, and your Venusaur, as well as, the actual decks themselves. It was a ridiculous product. I don't think that's a particularly controversial statement. This product was amazing. Now, this one came out a little while ago, and I'm going to be honest with you, we're kind of a bit late on this one at this point. I don't want to be rude, but this one, put it this way, this one is not in stock over on the Pokemon Center Japan. And in fact, unfortunately, the listing for it has actually completely disappeared. So, sorry about that. But I can tell you it retailed for 5,500 yen. And I'm telling you right now, I bought this. Now, this actually came out in November. So, and that's November 23, not November 24. So it was a little while ago at this stage. It was not hard to get on release. This was not a set that we struggled to pick up on release. This was, honestly, a pretty widely available product. Yeah, those days are long gone. So let's have a look at the promos. Let's see how the promos are going. Well, the Charmander, the one that was an Elite Trainer Box promo for us, these are all sold out, incidentally. These promos are becoming a real pain to get hold of. But this is a 4,800 yen promo, the Charmander. Bearing in mind, the box as a whole was 5,500 yen. This one's 4,780. So pretty much the price of a box, just a tiny bit less. The Squirtle came in at 3,000 yen, which is actually cheaper than the box as a whole. Just over half the price of the box. But again, we're talking about just one of the free promos here, and I'm not including the Alt Art EXs or any of that. And then the Bulbasaur comes in at 3,600 yen. So you add the three of these up, and we end up roughly about 11,000 yen. That's roughly what the free promos together come out as, which is actually pretty much double the value of the box. And that's not including the alternate RTXs or any of that that's coming in the box. That is just these free promos. And the thing is, I've showed you recently that actually these promos are a little bit silly in English as well. Like, if we just stop for a second and have a look at the English version of these promos, the Squirtle and, well, let's take them one by one. The Squirtle's currently sitting there at like a $47 card. And the Bulbasaur is sitting there again at about a $47 card. I paid like less than 40 for the box, which had the Charmander and everything else in as well. And it's fascinating to me that these products, when they get released, are not more popular than they are. Because if we take some recent products, let's go for Battle Partners. I've told you a couple times recently, Battle Partners is going a bit nutty in terms of how much people want it. And we had the N and the Lily card file sets. They did sell out like instantly. I've not been able to get these yet. I'm very sad about that. But they're card files and they're cheap, and these kind of things always get popular. But these deck sets with promos in, for some reason, they end up not being particularly popular. They end up not selling out particularly fast. And we end up in this weird situation where the promos alone end up worth more than the box. And then the promos start selling out. And they weren't that difficult to get hold of at the time. I accidentally bought two of this Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise deck set. There's an old tweet, you can find it. I just sold it to somebody for cost. I sold it for exactly how much I paid for it, which was RRP plus a tiny bit for postage to the UK. Because I pre-ordered it, and then I bought one on release day, forgetting I'd pre-ordered it. And then it turned out I had two. But that's kind of my point here. I pre-ordered it nice and easily and then managed to buy one on release day as well. This was not a difficult product to get hold of, even a little bit. And now look at the promos. These are just 2 examples because they're recent. And the fact that the Generations 1 is still available, if I didn't already have this, I'd be picking this up right now. And this is going to happen again in the future because there are obvious ones like the N and Lily decks that, all the sets, that everyone's going to go, oh, it's N and Lily, let's go. And then there's other ones where people go, oh, it's just starter decks, it'll be fine. And I kind of get it because the promos, if you look at the front of the box, the promos are hidden up right at the top right-hand corner there on the top part of the box. But I'm showing you all this stuff as it comes out. If you're not subscribed, might I recommend that you do so? Because these products do come around, and there's usually a window where they're pretty available, and when that window closes, things get a little silly. So there we go, that's what you need to know. And now it's over to you guys. Did you pick either of these up? Are these the kind of things that appeal to you, or do you just not really care? Let me know in the comment section. Get us! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. And get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely Ashley Munns, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.